In a world of EMS podcasters, EMS Office Hours is the only live podcast bringing you the latest topics and opinions in EMS. Turn down your scanner and turn up your speakers as we join Jim Hoffman and Josh Knapp on their latest EMS podcasting journey.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Jim Hoffman here from EMSSEO.com, of course, since you're watching this on Facebook Live. The other day I did a Facebook Live, did a little short podcast talking about how you can be perfect, all right, or thinking about just being perfect in EMS for 1 second, okay? And sometimes you have difficulty with that. I got a few messages from people saying, Jim, what if I just can't do it? What if I'm out of my lane? I'm too tired. The scene is getting away from me, right? It happens. Sometimes things do spin out of control and you can't get it back, right? That easy. Okay, whether it's a bad trauma call, maybe it's a tricky arrest that's going on and all kinds of rhythms and drugs and stuff, or it's messy, right? Or maybe a critical care patient and you're struggling with what might be going on with them. They've got different, medical systems being involved, okay? Sometimes you're going to have problems, okay, getting a handle on that stuff, okay? It's because you're human. It's because EMS is not an exact thing, okay, especially out in the field. We are not really in a controlled environment, okay, so it can be tricky for us to get a handle on it, okay. So when I talk about being perfect for that 1 second, and when you can't do that, right, you can't refocus, you can't get a handle on it, okay, that's when it becomes important for you to have people that you can rely on, people you work with, like other first responders, firefighters, or volunteers, police, of course, your partner, okay? They become part of your overall patient care plan. You're still the leader, right? You're still the one directing things. You're still the one monitoring everything on the call, okay? But when you're not quite making it, you're not quite at that 100%, that 10 that I mentioned in the title here, okay? That's when you need to have these people on your team that okay? So when you work with people out in the field, you get to know them, right? You get to know who's got skills in some areas and who may not have those skills. Even if they're supposed to have those skills, maybe they're weak in those areas, but you know them, you know what that situation is. Now, it's not a bad thing for them to do it, right? Nobody is perfect, okay? But you being the leader, you being the one to be in control of the scene, you understand that somebody might be lacking in one skill, but they might be really good at another skill, okay? So the question becomes, do they equal the 10 that I mentioned in the title here, okay? Now, of course, you as an individual, you want to go ahead, you want to be that 10 all by yourself, right? You want to equal that 10, okay? But sometimes, like I said, it just doesn't happen, all right? So many variables at any given scene, and your personal life even, okay? Being tired, maybe the day was really busy. Maybe the call is just very, very tricky. You're having a difficult time getting a handle on it, taking that step back. But if you can take that step back, if you can't do that thing, like I said, about being imperfect for that 1 second, you might find yourself only being a 5, right? Or a 6. But if you've got your partner, a few first responders by your side, and they make you get that difference, right? And together you're that 10, that's going to mean success for your patient and for you and for them, okay? So if you're a 4 that day or for that call, right, for whatever reason, and your partner is a 6, there you go, right? There's your 10. Or maybe your partner's a 4 that day, you're both having bad days and you're an 8, right? but the first responders come on scene and they make you that 10, okay? So as part of that team, you're going to be successful, right? But the key is to know them, know the team, okay? Understand where their strengths and weaknesses are, whether it's on skills, maybe it's sort of personal interaction, whatever the case may be. And as the leader of that call, if you're the one in charge, you're the crew chief or whatever you might call it for that call, you're going to direct them to where they need to be, okay? So if that 4 you have or that 5 that you are that day just means you're the one directing, you're the one delegating, then so be it, right? So long as everybody else equals a 10. Now, on the other side of that, if you've got people out there that altogether you guys don't end up to a 10, then this doesn't work, right? You're still not making the full-fledged attack or the full-fledged effort, okay, if you guys all together are less than a 10. And this is why, as somebody that's out there in the field every day, you need to know which guys you can count on, where their weaknesses are, where their strengths are, so that if this does happen, you can be that 10, okay? I know myself, there are responders out there, partners that I have, that I know where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, right? I know when I can rely on a specific first responder for something. Some of them suck at blood pressures, right? I'm not going to give them the blood pressure job, okay? So this is what I'm trying to get at here, okay? So listen, it's okay to fall short. It's okay to get overwhelmed. Feel like you're losing control on a call. But if you know you have the people on your team that will have the skills to back you up and get the job done, then in the end is the success of that call that matters most, not anybody's ego, especially yours, right? So my tip for you, after all this long-windedness, right? Evaluate who on your team has the skills, who doesn't, where one may fall short and another one might fill the gap, even if the one that's filling the gap isn't necessarily, it's not necessarily their job, right? Maybe somebody isn't really good at blood pressure, but it's their job. But the guy next to him is really good at blood pressures, even if it isn't their job or their assigned task, right? Let them fill that gap, okay? Guys, by knowing the people on your team, knowing the people you interact with, knowing their strengths and their weaknesses is going to be part of being the leader that I've been trying to mention the past few episodes here, trying to get across to you that even on day-to-day calls, we have to be leaders when it comes to the patient care and what we're doing for our patients, okay? Guys, I hope this makes sense to you. If you want some guidance, you're looking for some way to strengthen yourself, become better and get better knowledge and better building, go check out TurboMedic. I've got a trial membership there. It's open right now. I've got a lot of people taking me up on that trial membership. Go check it out. It's emsseo.com/turbo. Go check that out, guys. Get yourself a trial membership before that offer closes. So don't forget, guys, try to be perfect for that 1 second. If you can't do it, look for that perfect 10, right? Who's going to make it up? Okay. All right, guys, that's it for me. As always, Jim Hoffman for EMS SEO. Stay